Hi guys, this is Bjorn again with this time another guide curves tutorial, but this one should go more into depth with some things that I missed out on in the first guide curves tutorial. And it's primarily about, animating something, a character where the hair is controlled by guide curves. So I'm just creating a curve here, and I got a lot of help this time from, gathering information from Yeti Central, which I really recommend a lot of you, especially if you paid for the real license, you have access to Yeti Central, and there's a lot of really skillful people in there, and one of which is known as Only Benny on Yeti Central, and he helped me a lot with this, because when I did my quadruped, my bear, it was a different setup because I didn't use guide curves. But as you can see, I've grouped my curves under the mesh, so it follows the mesh now, okay? So it's a rigging question primarily. Now I'm going to create my Yeti node on the mesh, and we're going to do this standard setup with the Yeti and the groom. And the reason I'm using a groom is simply to control where the hair comes from, where it emits. And I'm selecting the two curves now, and I'm going to create a set. Now this set I'm going to give a name. And so it's here. When I select this, I select all of my curves that I put in the set. Now back to my Yeti node, and this is where I import my selection set, or my guide curve set, like so. And I'm ready to build the Yeti tree, or the tree. So I import the groom, la-di-da. This time, instead of a comb, use a guide node to control the direction through the guide curves. I'm going to import the groom. Whoops, delete that. So geometry, groom, and finally import the guide curves. Whoa. Like that. Right, so groom, controls grow, guide, controls, guides. So I'm gonna real quick give him some hair strands. This is just for demonstration purpose, so it's not like I'm serious about doing a guy with ridiculous hair. Here we go. See, it already follows, so it's almost already there. Except if you want to do something pretty, spend more time on it. That's my primary advice. If you select the selection set, you can see there's a Yeti attribute, and you can change the number of guides that's influencing the groom or the Yeti node. And you can also find special attributes under each of the guide curves. So, and this is a thing, because normally, if you're serious about a really detailed haircut with curves, then you're not gonna go and do the settings for each individual strand like this. Because if I do settings for one, I'm gonna have to do it for all of them, like radius of influence, for instance. So that's one of the things that I stole from Yeti Central. So basically, I found this script on Yeti Central too, and I stole it. So here we go. I'm making a variable, and I'm just giving that a number, like 2. And then I'm making a loop. So for every element in my selection, which I'm going to make a list, my selection. For every element in my loop, I will make it set the value of the attribute I specified above. So long story short, I'll cut this video up and show the final script the way it looks. Just one more line, basically. So this is the script. So you select both or all of your guide curves. This could be 100 if you're like ambitious, and run the script, and it's gonna do things automatically, and it's going to save you heaps of time. And if you know Python scripting, you can also, of course, change what attribute is being changed. So that's just about changing the final line of this piece of code. And second to finally, don't forget the texture reference object on your mesh. Otherwise, it's not going to work when you animate your geometry. And finally, before animating anything, which I haven't done in this one, but you should, it's a recommendation I got from Benny, select your curves and make sure they're in the neutral initial position that you made them, or did the hair groom where it looks nice, and go to your Yeti tab and choose Save Guides Rest Position. And that's it. That's all I can think of. I don't know. That's all I know.